Yo, 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 good morning, gang. And as always, I hope everybody's feeling good, feeling great, feeling wonderful. Hope you guys enjoyed your weekends. It was a little quicker than I'd like, but that's just kind of how it always goes. But it's Monday, October 17th. It's time for us to get back to the grind, whether you getting up and going back to work, getting that money, or you setting up and getting ready to trade today. Either way, you up, you motivated, and you about to get to that money. All right. So, with all that being said, man, let's get right into our morning prep analysis. And actually, before I move forward, if you are a returning viewer, I appreciate the support. Any support is appreciated. I love that. So thank you. And if you're new to the channel, uh, you just hope you stick around and see how we do things. This is just a little morning prep where I kind of go over some of the levels that I'll be watching for today, maybe some trade ideas. So yeah, I hope you stick around and find something that you like, and you also become a returning viewer. So with all that out of the way, man, let's get right into it and let's see what we got for today. All right. So starting on the daily, guys, I was kind of going over this morning, and I was thinking, like, I really hate to sound like a tape recorder, right? I really hate to sound like I'm gonna, I keep saying the same shit, but let's be realistic here. We are now back in this yellow box, right? So if you have seen my if you've seen previous videos, usually we kind of just go over how we're back in this box, back in this range, right? And we're stuck in here. We kind of obviously we broke up to the top, broke out the bottom, but we keep finding ourselves within this range, right? So again, if you're not familiar with this range, it's it's right here, right? So we have what from 9/26, right? So September 26th, we kind of we broke down to 25th or 23rd. We came into this area, but basically from the 26th up until today, we have been in and out of this range. We've been around this range. So the story has kind of stayed the same for me. While we're in this range, I really don't know, or really can't uh, say where I believe price is going to go, because if you asked me right now, I would not be surprised if price just flew all the way to the top of this range today, right? Because after these two big red days, you're thinking we broke down, we broke out of the range, and then here we go right back up and out to the top, and then a couple of days later, right back to the bottom, just for a couple of days later to be right back at the top. So yeah, broken tape recorder, whatever you want to call it. I just sound like I keep saying the same stuff whilst we're around this range. So really, there's nothing else. There's really nothing I gotta hit, with this daily chart right now. There's really nothing else I can say, but besides, we're back in the range, and yeah, let's see how today ends, right? For most of you guys, or if you guys don't know, I like to usually sit back on Mondays and just watch the market do its thing, right? Kind of set the pace for the rest of the week. Today might be a really good idea to do just that. You guys will see in the smaller time frames that we're basically in range today. We're in balance today. I meant, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're within yesterday or Friday's range. We're within value area and all that stuff. So really, today just does not seem like a day where much is gonna happen, anyways. But just might be a good day to sit back and watch, right? But that's just what I'm getting right now from the daily. That's what I got for you guys right now. Again, sorry, it's just not much. I mean, we're back in the box, guys. We're back in the box. I could say something like, let's see, let me see this right here. Yeah, no, like that's sure. We could say we had a little downtrend from here to here. We could watch this trend line right here on the way up, but yeah, nah, I'm not liking it too much. All right. All I'm saying, guys, while we're in this range, while we're in this box, be careful. All right. Let's go down to some of the smaller time frames. See if we could see just a little bit better what's going on. Right. Let's drop that down. Let me zoom in here. I really would like to set it so that my charts are exactly how I want them to be the minute I click that time frame, but every time I try, it just messes up. All right, see what we got here. All right, so there you have it. We're obviously in a downtrend still on the 4 hour, right? High, lower high, lower high, lower high. We get this lower high right here, then we finally get what we thought was gonna be the we had a nice higher low, or a higher high, higher low here. We thought we were out of the woods. We ended up going up and over the box, came back down, used that as support, ran back up, and then ran back down. So yeah, but from here to here, right back in a downtrend, right? So we had a slight hope right here, thinking, all right, maybe we got an uptrend development and whatnot, and then right back to a downtrend, right? High, lower high than that, lower high than that, lower high, lower lows, and then what is this, Friday? But I think this was Thursday. So Thursday, what? Let me just double check that. What is this? The 13th. I don't want to. Yeah, 13th. All right. So this was Thursday. This was the CPI news or whatever, right? Big drop, big run up, and then Friday just kind of gave about half of that back, right? So really, even after Friday or Thursday, Friday, again, I don't even know how to pick a side right now, right? And this is just my honest opinion right now. If you do, that's good for you. Good, good work. But I don't really know if Bulls are going to be here, Bears are going to be here. Really don't have any idea today, right? Thursday, I had sat here and told you the Bulls finally stepped in. Bulls are going to run this up, right? Because on bad CPI news, obviously this was a lot of short squeezing and stuff like that. But on bad CPI news, on a 100-plus point drop, I did not expect all that to be given back. So obviously in my head, in my opinion, is, Bulls stepped in on this day. And then on the next day, they gave half of it back, right? Now, this, obviously is a higher low than this, right? We have a low, higher low. We have a high, and higher, lower high. So the low is all right. We have the lower low, and we did put in a higher high. So that's all right. We didn't close up there. That's not as bullish as it could have been if we closed as a higher high. We obviously came back down here, and we closed lower than we had closed on the Thursday. But either way, all I'm trying to get at, guys, is you don't always have to know for sure which way the market's gonna go. If you did, you'd be rich, and if I'd ask you for help. You know what I'm saying? I'd DM me right now if you know where the market's always gonna go, and we can get rich together. But you don't always have to know, right? Sometimes you just look at it right now, and for me, based on Thursday and Friday, I really don't know who's in charge right now, right? So we're gonna have to see in some of the smaller time frames maybe who's running it right now and pre-market and all that stuff. But honestly, this is why I choose Mondays to just sit back and watch, right? If I could just take back today, sit back, and then by the end of today be like, oh yeah, Bulls stepped in today, they got it today. Well, then carrying that forward Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I know, okay, Tuesday, are the Bulls still going to be here, or are we going to reverse and whatnot, right? And then we just kind of play from there. So don't always have to know, don't always have to have an idea. It obviously, with time, you want to have some kind of an idea. But look at this, in this range, in this box, I wouldn't blame you if you just was like, look, I'm gonna just sit back and watch, right? Now let me show you something here on the hourly too. I peeped this morning, just looking through this, right? Not only are we in this yellow box again, I'm gonna remove that. Actually, no, I'm not gonna remove the yellow box. I'm gonna draw another box on another range that we've kind of been stuck in, just to show you here. Here is the top of, what is this, the 10th. So the 10th would be last week. So here's Monday of last week. Here's the top, right? Here's the bottom. We're going to go ahead and go to the bottom of Tuesday. I'm going to drag that all the way over and put it down, right? Here's another range that we've been stuck in for 3 days, right? This is Monday, this is Tuesday, this is Wednesday. 3-day range gets broken to the downside. We find our support right here, jump right off of that. Now this is obviously this is the CPI day, right? So CPI, bad news, we drop. We find our support there, fly right back up. But if you peep today, right now, where we're currently trading at, we're in this range again. So this is a 3-day range that was broken on bad news, and then obviously, whatever it is, whatever happened with the Bulls, they stepped back in and they broke that same range to the top. The top side of that range was broken, and then the next day, look where we ended up getting rejected. The top of our yellow box, right? So just to kind of give you an idea, we are in these balance ranges where price is just okay to me. The way I see it, price is content anywhere in here. It was trapped in this box for 3 days, only broke out on bad news, and now we're right back in that box, and we're right back into the yellow box, right? So there's just a lot of I want to say, like, there's just a lot of contentness, right? People are content with price being where it's at right now. There is no rush, at least for me, to slam it short, slam it long, thinking that we either A, found the bottom and we're about to rip back up, or B, that we're going to be bloody today, or for, this whole week for that matter, right? I have none of that in my head, like, oh yeah, this little run up right now about to get run down or anything like that. It's just, what I see right now is a lot of balance, right? We're in two different types of ranges, or not even types, I'm sorry. but we're in two different ranges. Obviously this yellow one and then the one that I just had highlighted for you guys, right? So keep that in mind. Obviously we can play stuff like breaking the top of this range, right? And I'm just gonna draw that back, right? But here's a little bit of a an idea that you might want to keep in mind is if we break the top of this range, you might get some run up here. We might get some run down if we break the bottom of this range. Not saying you will, not saying it's guaranteed, but keep that in mind, all right? That's why I wanted to show you guys that range, and also just to kind of reiterate the balance that I feel like that we're in, right? So, all right, let's go ahead and drop down from the hourly, and let's get into some of the levels that we're going to be watching for today and see what we got, all right? So, actually, I'm not going to do 15. I'll do 30. I started liking 30 more. It's a little cleaner. Switch this over to pre-market, and here are some of the levels we have for today, right? So for anybody who is not new to the channel, you guys already know our 3 questions and what they mean. For anybody that is new, just go ahead and pay attention to these 3 questions, and at the end of the questions I'll go over what they mean. All right, so question number 1 is always, where is price currently trading right now compared to the range that was set on the previous day? So today, previous day would be Friday, so this is Friday's trading session. We want to get the Friday high. We come down here, get the Friday low, and just draw a box like that. I mean, you don't have to draw the box. I just do it so that it's visually easier or whatever. But in this range, where's price at currently, right? Are we trading above the range? Are we trading below the range? Or are we trading within that range, right? So question number 1 is obviously within that range. We're almost in the middle of it. So, I mean, that doesn't really matter. We're not opening in a gap up, and we're not opening on a gap down. That's what this gives us right here. So this question number 1 already kind of giving you balance vibes, right? Question number 2 would be, where's price currently trading in comparison to the overnight range, right? So here's overnight high, here's overnight low down here, and where's price currently trading at in compared to that range, right? We're at the top of that. So this one right here is going to give us a little bit more of a bullish answer than bearish, right? Because this would be more bearish if we were opening near overnight low. But because question number 1 is already a balanced answer, then question number 2 isn't giving us a whole lot of anything, right? Because question number 1 is the one that determines if we're going to have a possibility for a play at open, right? So if question number 1 is already saying we're pretty balanced this morning, we're fine, then there is already not much of a feeling to do anything when the bell rings, right? If anybody went out long on Friday, when they wake up today and they see where price is at, they're not going to be surprised. They're not going to be like, they're not going to be, their position's not going to be up a whole lot of money, and their position's not going to be down a whole lot of money. So they're not feeling like they have to do anything but watch, right? See if the position maybe goes in their favor more, or if it starts going against them, they get ready to cut or whatever. But they just don't feel like they have to do anything when they see price is exactly in the range it was Friday, right? That's what we're trying to get at, right? If question number 1 was a gap up or a gap down, that is where you have your people who are like, oh, I went out long on Friday and we're opening down here. I'm hurting. I'm big down. I need to do something. Sell my position, add to it, what have you. And that, it is that people like that, the people who went long, people who went short, whenever they see the position that they're in, either big down or big up, and they take action, that is what gives us some action in the morning to go ahead and play off of, right? So not sure if I said I was going to go over the questions at the end of all 3 questions, but yeah, that's the reason we asked question number 1. We want to know if we're opening on a gap up or a gap down, and then we go ahead and play that accordingly. So right now, question number 1, no gap up, no gap down, balance. Question number 2, we're at our overnight highs. We're actually created a new overnight high, but because question number 1 is balance, that doesn't really mean a whole lot for us right now, right? Okay. Anyways, moving on to question number 3. Let me get rid of this box. And question number 3 is, all you gotta do is find where we closed on Friday. So I'm gonna draw this line right here. I'm gonna change this to like super bright blue, and that blue line is where we close on Friday. And all you wanna do is get how much of the time and price was spent above. All right, so how much time was spent above that blue line? I'm just gonna draw my oval. How much time was spent above, and then how much time was spent below, right? And this one we just really answer. So 95% of time was spent above the close, and like 5% was spent below. So what that means is that there was net, like this is, and before I move forward, this would be 95% net long, right? And what we're looking for here is the inventory overnight balanced as well, right? We know that all these people right around here and right around here were going long. You know, it's not a whole lot. I mean, again, because question number one is balanced, question number two is pretty much you know, we're at the overnight highs, but because question number one is balanced, then question number two means a little bit less, and question number three means also just a little bit less. But what we want to get from question number three is there any inventory that needs to be corrected, right? All this, you know, over correlated, I don't even know if that's the word to use actually, but like you have all these people, you know, getting ready to go long. Anybody who went long right here, you know, when these guys went long, if they find out that they went long in a horrible spot, when we open, right, let's say we open around here and start to drop, if we get below, like, let's say this line right here, right, let's say we get below, what's that, I need my price level. Yeah, well, let's say we get below like this level right here, and I'm just throwing out this number, right, because this looks like a decent little support area, right? Let's say we have people who went long right here, right? Some people during pre-market or whatever going long. These guys go long. Some people here went long. Some people went here long, right? So the overnight inventory is long, right? It's 95% net long. But the minute that we open and price starts crossing below this, these guys realize that they were in a bad position. They shouldn't have went long, so maybe they cut. That pushes price down a little bit, and now you've got the people who were maybe waiting and using this area as their support. So these people cut, price comes down. We get around here, cross that. Some people right here cut, price goes down even more, and there you have it. The inventory is being corrected on its way down, right? So that's kind of what we're getting at when we ask the third question. If there's any inventory that needs to be corrected, whether that be up or down or whatnot, right? If we're 95% net short, then we know that, you know, some of the inventory may need to be corrected to the upside, right? So that's where question number three is at. And there you have it. We ask our three questions every morning just to see if we have a possibility to get a play at the opening bell, right? Right now, as it sits, question number one being balanced, then no, we don't have an opportunity to get a play at open. Now, this doesn't mean it's impossible. You aren't going to be able to find a play at open, but using these questions, we've been able to kind of minimize grabbing plays at the open when we shouldn't. We've been able to capitalize on some plays like that using these questions. So I really like them. It gives you an idea of what to do in the morning, right? So for me, on a Monday, where the three questions are kind of just staying balanced and chill and be patient, yeah, I'm probably not going to be doing anything at the open. All right. So that's our three questions, and yeah, we have an idea that the open is going to be pretty balanced. Okay. So what are some of the some of the plays, some of the trade ideas that I have for today? If I do go ahead and get into some trades, I'm really only going to be watching these single print areas. Okay. You guys see these dotted purple lines here above 36.59. You could even just above 36.60. We have an area of single prints, right? And I'll show you guys that here on this my market profile, right? So this is the, where's that at? This is the Friday session right here. And as you can see to the upside, right above 36.59, right here, you see that these the number 2 right here is all by itself. There's no, like, you see all these numbers are kind of, they all got numbers right next to them. They're all side by side. But this set of 2s right here, they're by themselves, right? This is your single prints right here. There's no volume here. Price just flew through this like, you know, a hot knife through butter on Friday. So basically, we would expect the same thing to happen if we get back to that area, right? So as price starts to go up, if price goes up today, one thing I'm going to be watching for is to get out of the value area from Friday. So we already did that just a little bit, but if you peep, here's value area high, and in here is value area low, aligned with the low of day. So if price is within this value area, again, another sign that price is content within those price, you know, that price range. So two-sided trading can take place. You don't want to get stuck in any longs or shorts where price can take two-sided trading where price can start going sideways, up and down. You don't want to be in a long or short during that, right? So plan one for me would be to get out of this value area before I even look for trades, right? So what I was looking for is break up and out of value area above the overnight highs. We want to see it get to these single prints, and we have two scenarios. The single prints can act like they should, or I don't even want to say they should, but what we can expect is that price flies through the single prints, right? We lack structure here, we lack volume. There shouldn't be any resistance in this area. But if this doesn't happen, let's say we get like a little partial bob, we start to struggle here. You start to see this, something like this, where price starts to struggle instead of flying through this. When we come back down, I might be looking to short that, right, and get something like this happen. The reason that is because when buyers are not able to do what we expect, or quote unquote what they should do, which is run price through this area of no support, or no resistance, no structure, they should run price right through this. If they prove that they cannot, then that is just saying that they're weak. And if buyers are weak and we come back out of the single prints, this area gets used as resistance. We start to come back down, maybe wait for like the opening print to get crossed back down, or if you see like some kind of pattern up here, inverted hammer, and you get in on the break of that, what have you. But if you see resistance in this area, we don't go through this single prints straight through it like a knife through butter, then you know that the buyers are weak, and you might have some opportunity for shorts right there, right? And then the same is true but opposite to the downside. We have a set of single prints to the downside below 35.87, and I'll just show you guys that too. Come down. Here's the set of single prints that we had for Thursday, where on the Friday session we only kind of went through half of them, right? I don't know personally. I have not traded single prints for a long time. My strategy is I kind of just watch the single prints as they sit there. So that means I don't know that because half of these were used, if the other remaining single prints, right, where I have this dotted purple line, this is below the low of Friday, and there was a few set of single prints that were not tapped. I personally do not know if we should even pay attention to these, since the first half, like some of them were already tapped, but I strongly believe that we would, right? If you know about market profile, I'd be the first to admit I'm not 100 on all of this stuff. I've watched my YouTube videos and I know how to use this stuff, but I'm not perfect. I don't know how to use all of it. I don't know all the tricks. So if you know something about market profile and you know that what I'm saying right here is, yeah, you're not supposed to use those because half of them were already used or whatever, then let me know in the comments. And if it's the opposite, right, because my thinking is this is still an area that lacks structure. This is still an area that has not been visited since we ran through it. Then this is an area that we can go ahead and consider weak. So my second plan for the day would be, if price starts to roll over and go back down, right, if we're in a bearish day, price gets outside of the value area, right, same thing, same play but opposite. If we break out of value area to the downside below the overnight low and Friday's low, then that's just, this is a level of resistance, or a level of support that I would assume is very strong, right? I would bet that this is a good strong level of support, right? So if we break through this and break through this support back into these single prints that we see right here, then I don't doubt that that we run through these, right? So from like 35.86, 35.87 down to about 35.70s or so, right? So that's the second play I'm watching for today. And to be honest with you guys, that's about it. I already told you earlier in the video that Mondays I typically just sit back and like to watch, right? But if any of these two scenarios present themselves today, I'm definitely looking to get into one of these plays, right? Like I said, you can use this either as support or resistance, right? So the same thing as I said going up. If price goes down, right, we come all the way down, we get down here, all these sellers, all this selling starts happening. And right when we get into the single prints, where you would expect the selling to continue, right? No structure, no support there. There's no volume. We should just fly right through that. As soon as we get into this like single prints area or whatever, and we start to struggle, something like this, and then it comes back up, then you know that your sellers, then you know that your sellers, although they were able to bring price all the way down here, they were not able to run through the single prints. Maybe come, again, you want to wait for like a reversal signal, the double bottom, just hammer, whatever, any like reversal signal. You see it down here in this area, go ahead and that might be an opportunity where you can go long, right? So that's about it. That's all I'm looking for today. For anybody who is who does come and watch these videos, you guys know that whenever I talk about the levels that we have, we play our levels accordingly, meaning any of these levels, yesterday's high of day, yesterday's low of day, if these single prints were not here, we watch these levels that we have, and we want to see how price reacts. Is price going to reject at this level? Are we going to hold above this level and confirm that this level is going to be our support, and then we go long? You know what I'm saying? So for any newcomers, if you guys don't understand how I use these levels, there it is. We just wait for price to get to them, right? Don't just go long the minute we hit our single prints and start getting in there and say, yep, going long, right? I like to wait and see how we're going to react. And yes, that means I've missed out on a handful of plays where, price came into the single prints. I'm waiting to see if we're going to, like, slow down or whatever. And next thing I know, 2 seconds later, we're up here. It's happened. I've missed it. But I've learned that it's better to be patient, and it's better to just miss out on a few plays than to jump into every one and be wrong. You know what I'm saying? Even 3 out of 5 times, you know what I'm saying? That's a losing, that's a losing ratio or whatever, right? So just kind of wait for something like this. Maybe we use this as support, and then instead of crossing down, it goes up. Then you get in right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get in right here, right? Goes in, starts to reject, and then it crosses, goes up, then you get in right there. Stop loss still below this, where the single print started, and that's not a bad ratio, right? You've got like maybe from 64 down to 58, or you can go from 64 all the way back up to almost 80. So there you have it. That's how we use our levels. I hope that you guys found something informative in this video. I hope that I was able to help somebody set up their trading for this morning, or just help you guys on how to find levels and whatnot. But if I didn't, let me know in the comments what I could do better, or let me know in my DMs on Instagram or my Discord, which is the link is on my Instagram and all that stuff. So just let me know what I could do better. If not, all good. We all good. Hope you guys enjoy your trading day. Hope, of course, that you finish today green, get that money, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.